though the race to communicate all of toys to toothbrushes, cars to sex toys, and any quantity of domestic technique to the web, seems implacable, down there is slight regulatory defending your cybersecurity. Not remarkable later how down there has been a lot of stories the year allocation the vulnerabilities how are upcoming to lighting. Currently, in Yuletide on us, he's very potential how thou ve deliberate purchase a associated unit, or perhaps Santa will keep one for you by the wood. But in no one else to trust on to govern the safety of yours new unit, which should you do to defend you and your. The largest essential issue you should ask is why the paragraph is necessary to be associated to whatever some rather than, perhaps, a force resource. If he's a trick, or though if he's a characteristic you believe looks very cold, ask oneself severely if he's caused the hazard. See at the information the unit gathers, which it shares, willingly and if hacked, and wait how versus which the connection is making for thou. Operating yours hazard is all you can expect for the Yuletide, as anything is always completely safe, but several extent of connection is helpful. If he's not urgent to the transactions of the unit, believe on disable the connection. If it does, which it is imaginary to out of collecting and accountability information later separate it. Though later you might believe if the unit is collection data how you would quite was not stored, see if you can wipe the information or if down there is several installation how prevents it creature gathered in the at first location. The time you see speech such as clever or associated you requirement to go on to the other issue, is down there any named issue in the paragraph. If the Safety Society has found a issue you should be capable to discover it rapidly by inquiring on the internet. See for speech such as safety exploit, utilize, or shortcoming in connect in the unit's behalf. And don't overlook to searching for information violation in relationship to the business how might conduct information you and your R creature requested to ensure. Study on cybersecurity of a unit and its related services is the top defense, but as things now stay you requirement to go and discover it. Don't suppose nobody will beforehand email a remember note or safety notice. If following Yuletide you are the pride proprietor of a associated, clever unit later find out how to upgrade the middleware. Any nice seller will include stipulated a tool by that you can download the newest embedded software program, fair love you do on yours PC. Yet, once again characteristically you requirement to be anticipatory as few of these devices are enhanced automatic by the producer. If the unit has the installation to automatic upgrade later do certainly you allow it. If down there is no way to support the middleware in the unit, later it tells you a large transactions on the attitude of the producer to safety. He's unavoidable how flaws will be found, but if the producer has no tool of update the unit it makes slight distinction, though arrogant the producer was prone to fix the issue. Though you might not wish to ask if the man type quite to offer you the souvenir has stored the receive, any unit how you cannot upgrade should be purified in cautious, i.e. don't confidence it in whatever susceptible. And if thou re the one purchase the unit do yours homework assignment at first. He's not ever lightweight but the manufacturer's websites, particularly their supporting chapter, arrogant one exists, will normally speak you which is probable. If you are readily to get the hazard in the unit, and it later requires you to ensure private information, for sample to use in related app, be really prudent. Don't use yours actual private information, offer an option person. Except he's a finance transactions down there is no cause why you requirement offer exact data on oneself. Yet, if you are connecting in several shape of on the internet society, frequently the instance in associated toys, recall how other perhaps are not as they seem each of year, the is on balance hazard once again. If you include several shape of clever aid and it doesn't aware who you very are, he's not departure to be almost as helpful as it would be differently. Advantage, in yours race to use yours new unit do the one item no of us is always very prone to do, recite the regulation and facility. Several on the internet services back up the law to remove accessing if you offer erroneous data. My boyfriend Kayla has found himself in the unhappy stance of creature the plasticity person of associated toy debate. The bright toy team, that allocated the car, play downward the risk and pledged its app would be enhanced. But at the end of 2016, U.S. customer groups declared the information the toy collected on the family who play in it amounted to observation. In February 2017, a telecoms guard dog in Germany, a nation in stringent confidentiality laws, forced regional parent to kill any units they belonging and prohibited future turnover. And later, over the monthly, a France information controller charged the plaything's producer of a severe violation of confidentiality due to a shortcoming told to enable human beings shut by to communicate via Bluetooth devices, potential enabling them to hear and recording conversations heard by the pupa. Though Kayla is yet listed on the websites of Lot Guideline UK Top Road and on the internet retailers, largest emerging to listing it as of stock at the period of written. At the hazard of possessing dampened the Yuletide ghost, down there is several nice encourage on the skyline for the new year. Lot are advocacy difficult for the EU to accelerate the regulatory of the safety of Web of Things, Internet of Things, devices, and down there is already an coordinated stance on the norm to that these devices should be detained. Though these regulation might not be in impact for following Yuletide, 2018 does see the arrive of the EU's General Information Protect Regulatory, GDPR, that will offer you the law to include yours information remote by tertiary parties. The authorities will include considerable new powers to spoil Yuletide if they don't perform.